A dark place. So this is listed as a main mission, if my logic is right, that squares are main missions. But it has to do with Alan Wake? Jessie receives a strange vision that mentions the investigations sector. She decides to look into the matter further. Also, I got this mission at the end of the face of the enemy, but I didn't get the vision until I came here and was leaving. I'm going to the investigations sector. So I have 2 points. Anything we can spend this on? How much does this cost? 3? Does it want me to come here? Take the sector elevator to the investigation sector. Is Alan going to be controlling me? Not controlling me, controlling the world around me with his typewriter? This ain't ominous at all. Huh.
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
I'm hoping he's gonna narrate some shit. Film noir style.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the bureau.
Missing agents. Mr. Kirkland, here are latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead, from the containment breach yesterday. Why do I feel like I've gotten this note before? Agent Jonathan Connor, Researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Caroline Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm, Agent Charles Murray, Agent Derek Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. What's this? Oh! Wait, I can replay it. I don't have to add it onto this, right? Can I replay it? Can I replay? I can. Yes.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse Faden could hear it. A call. It was faint, reaching for her from a dark place. Faden was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Faden paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle, trying to make her act. Faden didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss. So it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away. And made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man. A man desperate to escape. She sensed something else, too. A hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance. Waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. Faden pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
Okay, that's nice. That I don't have to add that on and do any kind of editing because I'm too tired for that. So the fact that I can just replay it is beautiful. Darling Investigation. Compiled by Tim Spalder by order of William Kirkland. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Internal Investigation D084-5 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Despite the accounts of Anonymous Redacted regarding inhumane treatment of a Redacted currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of Redacted Sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such Redacted contained here. One Redacted confirmed the Redacted's codename to be Redacted. That all files pertaining to the name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the Redacted research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into Redacted research. So, knowing nothing about Alan Wake, and the fact that they made a sequel and he has a magical typewriter, why not just type Alan Wake is safe and won't be murdered? And then won't that just come to life for his book? For him? Casey Inquiry. Okay. R. Dennis to D. Gleason. No, from D. Gleason. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author, Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into. What's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Special Investigator Gleason. So did Alan birth Alex Casey into the world? Just by writing the name? Cauldron Lake update. To Chief Investigator Dennis, it happened again. Third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our Redacted. Could be raccoons? The locals certainly complain about them enough, but why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of reoccurring problems is the staff at the Lake House research station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on Redacted Lake, it's in the name of this, but Cauldron Lake, if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this Redacted hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, Tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent Estevez. A lot of notes here. Staffing issues. Mr. Dennis. So yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, people are allowed to quit. They literally killed a man for taking stuff home to his family, and people are allowed to just quit. They're allowed to go off and become teachers. This makes no sense. We're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in this sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, we have an overcrowding situation. We don't have enough people, but we're overcrowded. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. Am I gonna find it sitting on his desk? The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. I really wish I had a flashlight. Resignation letter. Redacted of redact to whom it may concern. No. Redacted of redacted 2019. Head of investigations? To whom it may concern. It is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's redacted. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame the situation on our redacted, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the redacted loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that fire break. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The redacted has failed his agents, said the director. They're talking about, I'm assuming this is between Trench and Northmore, whereas Northmore started becoming whatever the creature is that Northmore became. I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland. Well, William, they're probably going to execute you. Is this another... A tractor supplement. The Burrow Tractor AI82KE. It was acquisitioned on April 21st, 2019. Seen, but not acquired. Supplementary materials. Note, miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Right? Burrow, William, male, Caucasian. Case summary. 33-year-old man found dead on his property per police report. Remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Autopsy findings. Blunt force injuries to the head. A. Lacerations, left ear/cheek. Blunt force injuries, extremities. A. Dislocation of the right knee. B. Complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus. Okay. Extensive trauma, abdominal region. A. Complete avulsion of multiple organs, including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from scene. Do people still say avulsion? I took anatomy and physiology. I believe they've replaced that word because we never used it in class. Inclusion It is my opinion that Mr. Bureau's death is not the result of a mechanical accident, as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. Avulsion. Fragile. Go with care. Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams, like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case, but that was just the adults. If I'm remembering the file correctly, this is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles, with a dot in the shared space. Where was I? Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenum. So is Keystone, like again, are these from other games? Tractor procedures. I'm gonna get attacked by a tractor. It is not in Bureau custody, none known. Description: a Frank Elk tractor, John Deere, olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls and unmanned locomotion, considered highly aggressive and dangerous. Background: the item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Bureau Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived, but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communication staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. It's a tractor. How are they not finding it? Speaking to Miss Burrows, only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. Did she order the tractor to kill her husband? Ethics investigation. This is compiled by Patricia Lewis by order of William Kirkland. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Internal Investigations P142-9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program, redacted by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation classified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systemic redacted and redacted. Redacted were brought into the oldest house and placed under redacted examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic redacted of preternaturally inclined redacted. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human redacted decency. This investigation team unequivocally redacted the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be redacted immediately. Shut down. Okay, I need a light for this.
There. Now that gate should open.
Trench, official warning. Kirkland, I am growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. Don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm! Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The prime candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures, plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench. You know, not to side with Trench here, but he does have a gun that will literally kill anything he shoots, right? I mean, most guns will, but I mean, it's a magical gun that can turn into anything. So, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, maybe try to hide your investigation into internal affairs a bit better than leaving your documents lying around the office like everyone else seems to do. Oh no. Oh no! Jesse is becoming a box. Director investigation. See what I mean? This is just lying out here, William. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Redacted was launched into the Redacted of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in Redacted witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive Redacted when Redacted with other staff has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notably, Redacted between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the Dimensional Research Wing and the Redacted kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's Redacted as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any Redacted, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. I think it is, but what do I know? Underhill background. Okay. Summary. Dr. Raya Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist, stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. I didn't think that he had a thing for her, other than, respect for her scientific knowledge. But hey, what do I know? There are so many notes in this. Specimen Escape Assessment. Incident A49. The purpose of internal investigations X039-7 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 that resulted in the deaths of redacted agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspected human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the redacted of redacted, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive redacted. Cross-referencing that date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. 1. The air filters were changed, and 2. An hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice, isn't it Alice Wake? Wasn't Alice Wake? Alice something, we've heard the name before, entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. See interview S5F-124. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Miss Redacted's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the redacted. Investigation is ongoing. Wasn't his wife's name Alice? Looking at this map, this seems like this is going to be long. Is it going to be broken?
I am no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Is it going to be broken into parts, or is this just going to be like a 3-hour thing I've just signed myself up to at 10 p.m. when I have work in the morning? Blessed Organization. This group/individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the deaths of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believing to be involved with the Blessed Organization. Yeah, I feel like I just signed myself up for like a 3-hour thing. On accident. A 2. A 3.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake. Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink. Yippies.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been riding. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding?
You found a way!
No. I don't. Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen
Yeah.
him.
Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here? And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
Okay. Does she not read the same articles I read? About how Alan Wake was also considered to be one of the future directors? Does she not read those? I read that. So Alan's behind the spiral. It's behind the other four. Oh, wait. Okay. There hasn't always been a fan in here. There's a fan in here now. Or has there always been a fan?
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Oh, drop my pen. Okay. Well, that don't look good. Can I make it that far? I don't think so. But that's my only other option, by the looks of it. Ooh. Okay.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
He needs me to send him his typewriter? How can he talk to me through the thing? It's one of my key questions. Is that just more proof of why he can be the director? Or was the director line, the whole reason they mentioned that was to give a reason for why Alan can talk to you through it? It was like, oh, that's it. Y'all don't mind if I just...
That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
I'll just take what's mine. Okay. There are enemies here. Who are you shooting at? Oh wait, that was a guy I was lifting up myself. An enemy just popped up on my screen and I didn't realize it was because I was lifting him up. Oh, hi.
course, the hiss are already in here.
Okay. Hidden location. Hartman arrest. Case 74 WA004. Offender's name Emil Hartman. Victims' names Alan Wake, Tor Anderson, Odin Anderson, Redacted, Rudolph Lane, Wendy Dessel, Thomas Emerson, Redacted. Officers' names Special Agent Remy Dennis. Charges Code 4 Kidnapping of altered individuals, 1 count. Code 8 Sanctions against altered organizations, 1 count. Code 37 Obstruction of Bureau investigation, 1 count. Code 74 Breaching of the Ash Act, 6 counts. Additional notes: offender's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. Offender's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each, except the Anderson brothers, due to their senile since they're senile, and Wake possibly deceased. Okay. Foot gossip. Hello, my feet gossip are at night, and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. No, hold on. Let's run back to that. Who wrote that? What? Oh, it's one of those. Okay, it's one of those dead letters. Okay. Don't like that. Aim a powerful light source at the darkness to destroy him.
Darkness is blocking the door. So now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
So that's from Alan Wake. I remember my brother had to shine, like it was a flashlight was your main thing.
Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
That person's face was disintegrated. Hmm. All right. That's what my brother said. Baby, 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 yeah, orange peel. After arriving in the sector, Jessie passes through a long, closed fire break, unsure of what awaits her on the other side. Yeah, I have a feeling this is like a 3-hour thing that's gonna, I'm just now stuck into.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now we crashed out of darkness toward Phaeton.
Well, thanks for informing me of that. Hold on. The Shadow. Ezra Cruz. Investigation. Kirkland. Okay. Summary. Paranatural entity A010, aka The Shadow, is an aggressive redacted consisting of 3 known types. Type A. Localized manifestations of sentient shadows capable of occupying organic and inorganic material, as well as exerting redacted over its surroundings. Type B. Shaded individuals, human bodies redacted by the shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive, but do seem to retain redacted of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. Type C, shaded objects, similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are redacted solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, see AWE 35, which may imply a shared link to a redacted intelligence. The threat this entity possesses warrants immediate exploration of offensive/defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of an redacted. Just your third message, the third thing.
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
So Hartman has trapped Alan. Thought he was at the bottom of a lake. Allen Lake. Eagle Limited Summation, AWE 44. Event date May 25th, 2015, Bloomington, Illinois. Event summary: a train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as Redacted, the Blessed. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had been altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. Event response: Bureau had been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, a response team on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. Suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. Why does this make me think of why can't I think of the name now? It's making me think of Final Fantasy VII. I feel like I kind of bypassed something because I went back and picked up a light, but I think I wasn't supposed to go back and pick up a light. I think I was supposed to continue through here and like get attacked or something. And then find a light.
Reminder, all employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective, and hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed. Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
Why is this recording in the bathroom stall? Am I good to move on? you as well. Not you. I'm freaking box again. Oh! What? Hi? Buddy, there's a vending machine or a server. Oh, we got a new enemy added. Hiss Corrupted Ranger Airborne. This subgroup of Hiss Corrupted Rangers has manifested the ability to levitate, similar to Hiss Elevated Agents. However, these airborne Hiss Rangers display no telekinetic abilities and simply continue to use mundane Bureau weaponry. This evolution, are you going to tell me about the frickin' refrigerator? It wasn't a refrigerator, but you know what I mean. This evolution being so similar to the elevated possibly indicates that Hiss can share permutations, should it be paramutations, through a type of network or perhaps osmosis. However, the fact that this development in Hiss Rangers has only been observed in the investigation sector may indicate that an environmental factor is responsible. They could be responding to an altered item or other paranatural element found only in that sector, or perhaps this is the natural progression of the Hiss Ranger phenotype. Not enough time has passed to determine a conclusive trajectory of development for each of the Hiss manifestations, assuming any such trajectory exists. I'm guessing this is DLC, this whole Alan Wake thing. Because this is the Ultimate Edition that I'm playing. New janitor work. And that would make sense if this was DLC. I was just about to say, that guy's been here a while. He hasn't died yet. Interrogation complaint. Kirkland. So, you put me on desk duty just because I did that thing I was fucking hired to do? My job? Want to know what I call that? Bullshit. Asking us to interrogate these scum without using words like altered items or AWEs or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life. And I've heard some fucking stupid things. No, it's because if they don't know what these things are, you don't want to tell people what it is, right? It's my issue with the James Bond thing where the villain tells the hero their plan when the hero had no idea what the plan was, but because you're using the words, now they know what your plan is and they know how to stop it. So if they don't know what altered items are and then you tell them what altered items are when they didn't know what they were in the first place, now you're freaking screwed. They already know the facts, but does he know that they know the facts? I don't know if he does. Hell, they know just as much as us, if not more. And they get to sit there laughing at us while we dance around our words, trying not to leak classified terminology. They already know the fucking terminology. You think pulling me off the case will stop me? Then think again. That piece of shit blew up those tracks. He killed those people. All to make a train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me back in that interrogation cell so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists and deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You can go ahead and put me on suspension. See if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt. Saw another one. That's the bathroom I already went in. Right over here. NASA cooperation decision. Summary. Following the NASA FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Wow, way to shit on the person who first invented a freaking rocket ship, right? Recently, certain individuals have raised the concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the Redacted far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivery of Blackrock. From its medium Earth orbit, the Redacted will provide the Bureau with, I'm assuming they mean the space station, the Bureau with an unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. Yes. So people don't understand there's more than just monetary reasons for things. Black Market. Compiled by David Gleason by order of Remy. A black market hub specializing in trade of occult talismans, relics, and other associated ceremonial objects, as well genuine, altered, and paranatural materials, was raided and redacted the Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but that they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. A, there is a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the general public. B, these criminal individuals do not seem aware of the items' paranatural powers, and their attempt to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. And C, the motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Money. That's their motivation. Money. If they don't know the items are magical, and they're just selling them to people, I'm pretty sure their only goal is money.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors, motion detectors in the lobby area, tripwire triggering a flash camera across the main entrance, even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best, but mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, there we go. All right, that was faint, but I definitely heard movement coming from the hallway. recording better work this time, or I swear to God I'll... What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
Is it over? Like, if it's still spinning, that makes me think that I'm supposed to be waiting. But I think it's just over. Okay, bye. Huh. What are you for? I didn't see another thing. Okay, we'll worry about those side things later. No, we haven't gotten energy. Astral constructs. Oh, a new one. Surge. Active investigations.
I don't feel right. Something in this darkness is draining me.
Come on, I can't get my light back. Got it. I did all that and it probably won't work like I think it's gonna work. Nope, it's still draining my thing. Vending machine. Oh, this was a thing that I chased down. Except it wasn't an object of power, because I killed it. AI-81KE. This is June 11th, 2017. Investigation sector processing is underway. Containment procedure, none known. Testing in the investigation sector is currently ongoing. Description: a vending machine. Its front covered in a faux wood panel, coin-operated buttons for selecting food products. The item generates and stores a variety of material, both edible and otherwise, in its rows of internal trays. Initial testing suggests the item reacts to the mind of the individual in closest proximity and will produce whatever they subconsciously desire. Attempts to cause the item to create a living redacted have consistently failed. Background: the item was discovered in a nursing home in Redacted, Alberta, after a resident named Muriel Redacted called a local news station about a magic vending machine. The news story reported that the nursing home's staff was purposefully stocking the machine with distinctive food and objects as a way to raise resident spirits. The Bureau response team encouraged this story while confiscating the item. Too close to it that I can't pick it up. Got it. Door appearance. Ocean View Motel observation report. Details. An excursion into the Overview Motel and Casino discovered a previously unseen door in the lobby hallway. The door featured a spiral-shaped marking, designated door spiral. Similar to the other doors, it is locked and cannot be forced open. Alice Wake, a person of interest in the Bright Falls AWE, refer to AWE 35 for details, and the former wife of missing author Alan Wake, a suspected parautilitarian and redacted, contacted agents Shaw and Dempsey of the investigation sector using the phone number given to her in 2010 in accordance with civilian outreach protocols. The call resulted in Miss Wake being brought into the oldest house for an in-person interview. For a full transcript, refer to file redacted on redacted 2017. The excursion into the Ocean View Motel occurred later that same day. Conclusion. Determining whether this was a basic synchronicity event, Alice Wake is responsible for its appearance, or if the door itself relates to AWE 35 is paramount, she should be returned to the oldest house, possibly even taken into the motel itself to confirm if any other changes occur. Energy back while I look for more notes in the darkness. Hartman background. Dr. Emil Hartman is an academic psychotherapist that owned and operated a recovery center in Redacted, Washington, focused on the treatment of artists struggling with creative blocks and other mental disorders. Publicly, Dr. Hartman's treatment center seemed unremarkable in its methods and purpose. Privately, however, Dr. Hartman was abusing his patients in order to utilize any latent redacted abilities they may possess, with the aim of shaping redacted to his own benefit, which has earned him a Class II paracriminal designation. Note, for more on the link between artists and their ability to redacted reality through artistic mediums, see file redacted. Investigation has proven that Dr. Hartman's illegal endeavors were conducted alone. After being approached by the Bureau during the redacted investigation, he displayed no remorse or intention to cease his actions. Dr. Hartman was taken into custody, evaluated, and released redacted months later, having been deemed a negligible threat. His medical license has been permanently revoked. Well, that don't seem right. Again, you killed that dude who just tried to show his daughter some cool alien artifacts. You let Dr. Hartman go? It don't add up. It don't add up. Yeah, I think all I can do now is take the elevator down. What's that? What was that? Mr. there's something over here. Oh. I think that's it.
Shit. Now what? What is that?
Come on, elevator, time to go.
The light.
Activate the lights to defeat the creature.
Use that.
Okay.
Nothing even touches it.
I can't pull it back out. Okay. How do I... Oh. Well. I didn't realize. That was there. You got long legs, bro.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Arcade machines. Shoom. Shim? Shoom. Whatever.
Okay, Jesse. Shoo. Okay. Night Springs Screenplay, page 1. Note, this screenplay was found after the Bureau acquired the Night Springs television series and all its past episode scripts. It appears to be written by Alan Wake as part of an application to become one of the show's writers. Night Springs spec script, episode Over the Threshold, Darkly, by Alan Wake. Host, voiceover. It is only human nature to wish to control the forces around us. even more so to possess them. What happens when those forces are not ours to claim, or even of this world? What if they are the things you can discover in Night Springs? Interior, secret lab, night. Is this a person saying this? We are in a secret lab. The large sign on the wall reads, the Federal Bureau of Night Springs. Scientist. I've told you several times, Director. It isn't ready. Director. Because it's me, Faden. I'm assuming I'm going to go ahead and just be Faden. Well, I'm not because I can't do her voice, but it's ready when I say it's ready, Doctor. But the being beyond the portal, we have no control over it. And that's it. That's the first part. Got it. Don't think anything else new popped up here, but oh, I want to see if I can go in there. And the answer is no. Well, good thing I looked around. I missed this too.
Brian Hennerman, 21 years old, resident of southern Texas.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I really don't understand why I'm here.
You know what you did, Mr. Hennerman.
I do?
Tell me about Delivery Disaster.
The movie? I mean, it wasn't very good.
That's not what your review said, but we'll come back to that. Tell me where you got the movie from.
Movie night with a K, not an N, not night like nighttime, but
Who contacted you? Who told you to review that film?
no one. I just did it because it looked obscure. I didn't even like the movie. I shouldn't have given such a high score, but reviewing obscure films makes you look smart. And I thought if I looked smart, I would get listeners. My podcast would take off and I could move out of my parents' basement and maybe even go to college and get a film degree like I've always wanted to. I swear. I swear, I swear, I swear.
Okay, the kid doesn't know shit. I'm ending the session.
Well, it's nice when they say they're ending it, so I know that it's over. So many of them are... Nope. Good thing again that I kept looking around. I see another one.
Okay, this room is really intimidating and all, but I know my rights. It's not a crime to try and get a book signed.
Making unauthorized contact with a dangerous paranatural entity is indeed a bureau offense, Mr. Langston, and can be prosecuted as such.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Listen, this is being blown way out of proportion. All that happened is I heard Dr. Hartman had been brought in, and since I'm a huge Alan Wake fan, I thought it'd be cool to get a copy of The Creator's Dilemma signed. That's a book that Hartman wrote about...
We know what it is.
Okay, good. So yeah, I was just looking to fill out my Wake collection. I certainly didn't know Hartman had turned into some kind of shadow zombie.
That's a completely inaccurate description.
Whatever, listen, I'm just a desk jockey. I sort papers, do data entry, that kind of stuff. Don't come down on me like this. I made one mistake. I mean, I see people break the rules all the time and no one is pulling them into dark rooms to yell at them. Yesterday, Dave Gleason and his crew were talking to that empty spacesuit and laughing their heads off.
We're letting you off with a warning, Mr. Langston. But this is going on your record, so one more screw up and our next chat won't be so friendly.
Great. That is just great to hear, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, is there any chance I could get my copy of The Creator's Dilemma back?
Get out.
She sounds familiar. Okay, are there any other ones I missed during the darkness? think I am now officially good to go. I didn't need it there, but figured might as well.
Ma'am? What are you doing in investigations?
Jesus, don't scare me like that, Langston.
If you're talking right now, I can't hear you. It's a one-way system. Try to find an intercom.
Are you gonna ask me to get your thing signed? Okay, we have F.R.A. Morrow, Bright Falls, which is the Alan Wake one, and Eagle Limited. So the train, Alan Wake, and I don't know what this one was.
Langston, it's me, Jesse.
I know. I can see you on the monitors. The cameras in there haven't worked since we sealed that sector off a couple years back.
Let me guess. You sealed it because of the monster guy.
Wait, did you see Dr. Hartman? Jesus, I really wish you hadn't opened that fire break. Okay, listen, you need to find Hartman and kill him before he gets out into the Bureau.
That thing is a person?
He was a person. We brought him here to study after he was, altered in an AWE. I forget the medical word for what happened, but now light physically hurts him. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
A lantern? Headlamp? Oh yeah, flare gun. Oh, Christmas lights. You could wrap them around your...
I don't have any of those, Langston.
Shit. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. I'll keep an eye on you from the panopticon. This is kind of exciting, right?
Maybe from where you're standing.
Right, okay. Well, break a leg. Oh, why did I say that?
Okay, this Hartman thing can't have gotten very far. Let's go flush him out. Langston was right. This is kind of exciting.
It's just nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Ever since I got put in charge of the Panopticon, people treat me different, like I'm crazy for wanting to work with altered items. People just don't understand the altered items like I do, you know? I don't want to brag, but it does take a very empathetic mind to connect with the items.
Doesn't
Still,
want
I don't
to
know
brag.
why people are making it so personal.
Right.
I mean, the teams in research handle paranatural materials every day, and no one thinks they're weird. Well, maybe that's not true. Darling is famous for being a bit out there, but when he's weird, it's charming. Altered items really aren't that frightening once you get to know them. If you figure out what they like or don't like, you know, what sets them off, then there's nothing to worry about. I guess at the end of the day, we're still just wild animals scared of our own shadows. We're supposed to be on the same team, but sometimes it feels like it's every department for themselves, like it's a race and we're all trying to be number one. If it is a race, though, I'd say Darling is a mile ahead of everyone else. He was Trench's golden boy for years, but that relationship has gotten pretty tense, or so I've heard through the grapevine. Not that I spread rumors, just, you know, people talk. Not me, though. I keep my nose to the grind. Too much work to do to focus on those kinds of things. I need to stay focused so I can get my work done and get home to feed Alfred.
He's
of
just
course,
gonna talk forever,
can't always
isn't
make
he?
it home for mealtime, so I have my neighbor check in on Alfred at 7 o'clock if I'm not back yet. She's very nice. Her name is Maria. She's older. She came to New York in the 50s to attend school and has been here ever since. She has a couple of kids. I met them at Thanksgiving. Big family. Very nice people. Anyway, she has a key to my apartment, and she gives Alfred his dinner if I'm not home. I'm gonna have to buy her a nice fruit arrangement as a thank you after this. I'm missing a lot of Alfred's meal times. She's probably gonna have to go to the store for more wet food. I'll have to remember to pay her back. Hold on, let me make a note. Pay back Maria for Alfred's food. Okay. Oh, one more thing. And buy her a fruit arrangement. All right, done. Are you a cat person? I don't think I ever asked. You seem like one, though. You'd like Alfred. He's very proper. Really carries himself well, you know? I named him after my favorite poet. Felt like a good fit. I got Alfred just before Sylvia died when I was at the... You know, I don't really remember where I got Alfred from. But, boy, those two did not get along. Oh, no. Sylvia thought she owned the place. Didn't like me getting in her way, scratched me more than once when I was just trying to move her food bowl. That cat was a real asshole.
Wow.
I'm realizing now that language was
kinda
not
harsh.
entirely, professional. You see, Sylvia didn't tolerate most people, or animals, or anything. And that's what I meant when I said asshole. I would never use that word about a person. It was just, hey, there's a light flashing on the console here. I gotta, check this out. I'll get back to you later.
Real smooth, Langston.
I didn't know how long that was gonna go. I am tired and want to go to sleep, but I couldn't not listen to that whole conversation. Okay, but that ends A Dark Place. I'm glad that it isn't just one long mission and that it has breaks. I am tired. They should have marked these differently, because I think this is DLC related. I think there was a Alan Wake DLC that came with Control, but because this is the Ultimate Edition, it's just one big thing to me. See, I feel like they could have marked it separately. A horrific creature attacks Jessie in the abandoned halls of the investigation sector. Once she manages to return power to the area, the lights cause the monster to flee. Langston contacts Jessie on an intercom and tells her that this creature was once a man named Dr. Hartman, and that she'll need to ensure it doesn't escape this sector. Okay, just set lights up at the only exit, and then it can't leave. As if it can't get past this room, which it can't, because the lights are on, I'm pretty sure we're good. Also, it wants me to go find where it's at, even though I know it went this way. But okay. We'll get back to that later.